In a world where chaos reigns and systems collapse, laws will be the last thing on your mind. Prepping for survival goes beyond conventional items. Some of the most essential tools might be illegal to possess in normal times. From perimeter alarms to lockpicking tools, these items could save your life when society breaks down. But be aware, owning these items might put you at odds with the law. In this video, we're going to talk about essential prepping tools that could make the difference when it's a fight for survival. Number 1. Perimeter trip alarms, using 209 primers. In a survival situation, perimeter security is one of the most important aspects to consider. When the world around you is collapsing, protecting your home, family, and resources is essential. This is where perimeter trip alarms come into play. Unlike traditional alarm systems that rely on Wi-Fi, electricity, or even monthly subscriptions, these alarms are self-sufficient and are a low-tech solution to a high-stakes problem. A perimeter trip alarm is a simple yet effective tool for ensuring your safety when everything else seems to be falling apart. These alarms operate using a 209 primer, the same type of primer found in shotgun shells. The concept is straightforward. You set up a tripwire which is connected to the 209 primer. When the wire is triggered either by a person or an animal, the primer is activated, producing a loud, unmistakable noise that alerts you immediately to an intruder's presence. The great thing about these alarms is that they don't need electricity or Wi-Fi. They are independent of power grids, making them a perfect tool when the grid goes down and traditional security systems fail. The 209th primer produces a loud crack, a sound that will definitely catch anyone off guard. While it won't cause any harm, it's effective at making the intruder realize they've been detected and often causes them to flee. The setup process for these alarms is surprisingly simple. You need tripwire, which can be as basic as fishing line, wire, or even thin rope. And you position it along your perimeter, often between trees, fences, or other natural features. The tripwire should be nearly invisible to the intruder, allowing it to be activated without them realizing it. For extra stealth, some people opt for military-style tripwires, which are almost invisible to the naked eye. You can camouflage the tripwire with surrounding vegetation, blending it into bushes, trees, or tall grass. When someone crosses the line, the alarm is triggered instantly. The beauty of the system is its simplicity. There's no complex wiring, no need for batteries, and no tech to break down. The major advantage of using these perimeter alarms is that they provide you with instant intelligence. Imagine you're inside your house at night, and someone begins to sneak around your yard or property. Without this alarm, you wouldn't know until they're at your doorstep. However, with the tripwire in place, you'll get an instant alert, allowing you to prepare, whether that's by arming yourself or calling for help. The sense of security these alarms provide cannot be understated. The loud noise created by the 209 primer acts as a clear deterrent to intruders. They'll quickly realize they've triggered something and may decide to leave. Immediate action can then be taken, whether that's securing your home, retreating to a safe area, or confronting the threat. For those of you who want to level up your security, there are also 12-gauge trip alarms available. These alarms function similarly to the 209 primer version, but use live shotgun shells. The benefit of the 12-gauge setup is that it can deliver greater force and provide even more substantial protection. However, let's be clear. Using live ammunition with these alarms can be extremely dangerous and should only be considered in situations where your life is on the line. Under normal circumstances, using live rounds can be illegal and pose serious risks, including injury or even death. In peaceful times, it is advisable to stick to blanks or non-lethal rounds like flashbang or phosphorus rounds, which offer a great visual effect while still providing a loud, attention-grabbing noise. These rounds are great for visibility and won't hurt anyone, but will still serve as a warning to potential intruders. When setting up these systems with live rounds, be extremely cautious. If used incorrectly, you could seriously injure or kill someone. Even if the individual is trespassing, using live ammo can expose you to legal consequences. For this reason, using the 12-gauge version should only be done in extreme situations and when you are fully prepared for the potential repercussions. One of the often overlooked aspects of perimeter trip alarms is their bartering value. In a survival economy where currency no longer has value, being able to protect your property and secure your resources will be a highly sought-after skill. If you're stockpiling food, water, or medicine, having the ability to defend your supplies will increase your chances of survival. Your neighbors will see you as an asset, someone with the tools and knowledge to protect valuable resources. These trip alarms are also a great way to secure your food stockpile or garden. If you're growing food and worried about people or animals disturbing your crops, these alarms could be the perfect solution. You won't have to worry about others trying to steal what you've worked hard to grow. If someone crosses the perimeter, you'll know immediately, giving you the chance to defend your crops or negotiate with those who are trying to take them. While perimeter trip alarms can provide exceptional protection, legal risks are important to consider. In many regions, using such devices, particularly with live ammunition, can land you in legal trouble. Always research and understand your local laws before setting up any kind of perimeter alarm system. You don't want to end up in trouble for trying to protect your property. In a collapse scenario, the legal system may no longer be a priority. The lack of law enforcement and the breakdown of government regulations may mean that these devices are no longer seen as illegal in practice. However, it's still important to understand the potential legal ramifications before using these tools. Responsible preparation is key. Perimeter trip alarms are a game-changing tool in any survivalist's arsenal. They provide an early warning system that doesn't rely on technology, making them incredibly reliable when the grid goes down. These alarms offer peace of mind, knowing that if someone attempts to intrude on your property, you'll be the first to know. While these alarms have legal risks in some areas, their value in a survival situation is undeniable. Whether you're defending your home, protecting a bug-out location, or securing your food stockpile, trip alarms offer an extra layer of security and preparedness that is difficult to match. Number 2. 10-piece hook set jigglers. In a survival situation, access to locked areas could make the difference between life and death. Whether it's an abandoned vehicle, a storage unit containing valuable supplies, or a locked gate preventing your escape, having the ability to open locks without keys is an invaluable skill. 10-piece hook set jigglers, more commonly known as lockpicks, are a critical tool that can help you gain access to places you might otherwise be locked out of. Jigglers are lockpicks specifically designed to open older car locks, and their simplicity and effectiveness make them a great addition to your prepping toolkit. These tools are compact and easy to carry, making them perfect for situations where carrying large and heavy equipment is impractical. Essentially, jigglers mimic the shape of the original key and can unlock a car's door in a matter of seconds. No need for busting windows or drawing attention to yourself. This 10-piece set usually includes different types of picks to work with various old-style car locks. The advantage of these tools is that they don't require any major force or damaging action to open a lock. With some practice, you can get the hang of them quickly, making it possible to gain access in an emergency without attracting unwanted attention. For a prepper or survivalist, this set is a tool that can easily become a game changer. The principle behind lockpicks is simple mechanics. These tools are inserted into the keyhole and gently maneuvered until the pins inside the lock fall into place, allowing the lock to turn and open. The 10-piece hook set typically includes a variety of picks that can mimic the correct key, and with enough practice, you'll understand the feel of each pick as you maneuver it through the lock. What makes jigglers stand out is their effectiveness in unlocking older vehicle locks. This includes cars manufactured before the widespread use of smart keys and keyless entry systems. These older locks are simpler and don't have the added complexity of digital components, making them easy targets for skilled lockpicking. As you work with these tools, you'll become skilled in quickly accessing vehicles, storage units, or any locked places without resorting to brute force. Now you may wonder how lockpicks fit into a survival or prepping situation. The truth is, this tool could save your life in several scenarios. When everything around you is chaotic and resources are limited, the ability to access locked areas gives you a significant advantage. Imagine stumbling upon an abandoned vehicle that's locked up, but it could be the shelter you need for the night or a storage unit full of supplies that could help you survive. Without the ability to unlock it, you might miss out on the very thing that keeps you alive. Additionally, there are scenarios where you might come across abandoned homes or garages filled with valuable resources but locked tight. These could be food stockpiles, water, or tools necessary for your survival. Being able to access these locked resources without breaking in is an incredibly useful skill that separates you from those who rely on brute force or chance. Another crucial use of lockpicks is for security purposes. If you find yourself trapped in a situation, being able to unlock gates, doors, or even cages could offer you escape routes when you need them most. This could be the difference between freedom and being caught or trapped in a dangerous situation. The best part? You're doing it all quietly and without attracting attention. In a bartering economy where traditional currency has little value, lockpicks will be an invaluable commodity. People will need access to locked areas that could be shelters, storage units, or vehicles containing essential supplies. Those who can open locks and gain access to resources without leaving a trace will be in high demand. Imagine needing medication, food, or water, but the only way to get it is by accessing a locked storage facility. If you have lockpicks, you can gain access to these critical resources and trade them for what you need. The flexibility that jigglers provide makes them a valuable bartering item, as they allow you to open locked areas quickly and efficiently, which many others can't do. You can trade your skill and the tool for whatever survival resources you need, from ammunition to tools or even medical supplies. It's essential to understand that in most places, lockpicks are illegal to possess unless you have a licensed reason to own them, such as being a locksmith. The legal risks surrounding lockpicking tools are significant. Using these tools on private property without permission is often considered illegal, and getting caught can lead to serious consequences, including criminal charges. For this reason, it's critical to be aware of local laws regarding lockpicking tools. If you live in an area where these tools are restricted, it's best to do your research and know what is and isn't allowed. In a collapse situation, laws may not be enforced, but until that happens, it's important to stay within the bounds of the law. Consider acquiring lockpicks legally, such as through a lockpicking course or for educational purposes, ensuring you're not breaking any laws. While having the right tools is essential, lockpicking is also a skill that requires practice. The 10-piece hook set isn't just a collection of tools, it's an opportunity to learn and master a craft. Lockpicking is an art, and the more you practice, the better you'll become at it. Understanding how locks work and how to maneuver the picks is something that takes time and patience. Start with practice locks and hone your skills on locks that are non-functional or on old abandoned cars. The better you get at lockpicking, the more useful this skill becomes. You can even use it to help others in a crisis, gaining their trust and possibly securing bartered goods in exchange for your services. The 10-piece hook set, jigglers offer more than just a tool. They provide a valuable survival skill that can give you the edge in an emergency. Whether you're opening an abandoned car for shelter, accessing a supply cache, or helping someone else with a locked area, these tools offer you a chance to gain control over your circumstances. While they may have legal risks in normal times, their potential in a collapse situation makes them invaluable. If you're serious about surviving and thriving in tough conditions, investing in lockpicks and mastering this skill is a smart move. Just remember, practice makes perfect, and knowing how to use these tools responsibly will not only help you, but also make you a valuable resource in a world where security and resources are key to survival. Number 3. Lockpicking practice set. In a survival situation, gaining access to locked spaces could be a life-saving skill. Whether you're trying to get into an abandoned house, a locked vehicle, or a storage unit full of critical supplies, the ability to pick locks quickly and quietly can give you the edge. The lockpicking practice set is not just a tool. It's a training system designed to teach you the delicate art of lockpicking so that you can access resources in times of crisis. A lockpicking practice set includes everything you need to learn how to picket locks effectively. Unlike the lockpicks used for actual emergencies, a practice set typically includes transparent locks that allow you to see the inner mechanisms of the lock. This feature helps you understand how the lock functions and gives you a visual guide for how to manipulate the pins and tumblers that control the lock's movement. Most practice sets come with a variety of picks, tension wrenches, and other tools that allow you to mimic the feel of real locks. The transparent design is crucial because it helps you learn the technique in a hands-on way while being able to observe what's happening inside the lock as you work. As you practice, you'll be able to feel the resistance of the pins, understand the feedback of the tools, and fine-tune your technique so you can unlock real locks in an emergency. The key to understanding how lockpicks work is to realize that they are designed to manipulate the pins inside a lock. Most traditional locks contain pins of varying lengths that need to be raised to a specific height in order for the lock to turn and open. The lockpicking set is made up of picks, which are used to lift these pins, and a tension wrench, which applies slight pressure to the lock to hold the pins in place once they've been raised to the correct height. The practice set comes with clear, transparent locks that allow you to see inside the lock mechanism, giving you an immediate visual cue to how the pins interact with the picks. You can work through different types of locks and get a feel for the different pin setups and tension required to open each type. The experience you gain from this will make real-world applications faster, quieter, and more effective. Imagine you find yourself in an emergency situation. Perhaps your shelter is locked, or you need to access an abandoned vehicle in a desperate attempt to survive. A locked storage unit could hold essential supplies, but the lock is preventing you from gaining access. At this moment, having the ability to pick the lock can be the difference between life and death. Lockpicking allows you to access locked spaces without breaking windows or making noise, which could alert intruders or attract unwanted attention. In a collapsed society, when traditional forms of access are unavailable, the ability to open locked doors, vehicles, and storage units gives you a huge advantage. It gives you the flexibility to access resources that others may have already written off. Lockpicking can also help you escape danger. If you're trapped in a situation or need to quickly leave a building or vehicle without drawing attention, knowing how to pick a lock could save your life. Whether you're trying to get to an underground bunker or find a safe house, lockpicking skills will help you remain in control of your circumstances. In a post-collapse world where bartering becomes the primary means of obtaining goods, your lockpicking skills will be incredibly valuable. If you are able to access locked spaces, whether that's a vehicle, storage facility, or personal safe, without causing damage or noise, you become a valuable asset in the survival community. People will need lockpicking skills to open up locked areas that could contain food, medicine, or valuable tools. Bartering with this skill could allow you to gain tradable goods like food, ammunition, medical supplies, or even weapons. If your neighbors or fellow preppers need help accessing their own stockpiles or locked storage, your skills could become extremely valuable. Lockpicking practice sets can also be used as bartering tools themselves. As you develop your skill, you may be able to help others unlock critical resources, offering your services in exchange for other survival supplies. Since lockpicks are often difficult to come by in a collapse scenario, having a practice set could give you an edge when others are scrambling to secure their supplies. While the lockpicking practice set is a fantastic tool for prepping, it's important to understand the legal implications of possessing lockpicking tools in a non-survival situation. In many places, lockpicks are illegal to own unless you are a licensed locksmith or have proper authorization. Using lockpicks on private property without permission is generally considered a criminal act and could result in legal trouble. It's crucial to research the laws in your state or country before acquiring lockpicking tools. Many areas have stringent laws regulating the possession and use of these tools, especially if they are used for illegal activities. However, in a collapse scenario, the rules may not apply in the same way. People will still need lockpicking skills, and you may be able to use the tools for survival purposes without the fear of legal repercussions. It's also important to practice responsibility with lockpicks. These tools are powerful, and their use can be misconstrued or misunderstood if used improperly. While it may be acceptable to practice with abandoned locks, using these tools on someone else's property without their consent is highly problematic and should only be done in the most extreme circumstances when your survival is at stake. Lockpicking isn't just about owning the tools, it's about mastering the skill. The practice set gives you the opportunity to become proficient at opening locks, but it requires time and dedication to truly understand the technique. The more you practice, the better you'll get at manipulating the pins inside a lock. Start with simple locks and progressively challenge yourself with more complex ones. You can practice on old locks from abandoned vehicles or doors. The idea is to get comfortable with the feeling of the pins and tension in the lock, and understand the mechanics of how the tools interact with the lock. Having practical experience with lockpicks will also ensure that you don't waste valuable time in an emergency where every second counts. With consistent practice, lockpicking can become a natural skill that you can rely on when you need it most. The lockpicking practice set is an essential tool for any prepper or survivalist who understands the importance of accessing locked resources. Whether it's gaining access to a locked car, a storage unit, or an emergency shelter, having this skill can give you a huge advantage in a survival scenario. While the practice set is valuable for bartering, it also serves as a means of self-reliance, allowing you to unlock whatever is needed to keep yourself and your loved ones safe. By mastering the art of lockpicking, you gain the ability to manipulate the environment to your advantage. Practice and skill development with a lockpicking practice set ensure that you will not only survive but thrive in situations where traditional methods won't work. Understanding the legal risks and ethical use of this tool will keep you on the right side of the law until the rules no longer apply. In a crisis, being prepared is all about having the right tools and skills, and lockpicking is one of the most powerful skills to possess. Number 4. Professional handcuffs and keys. In a survival scenario where security becomes a top priority, professional-grade handcuffs and their keys can serve as a highly useful tool. These tools, often associated with law enforcement, can offer a way to secure individuals or property without causing permanent harm. Though handcuffs might seem unusual as a prepping item, they have their place in the survival toolkit. Whether for defensive purposes, self-defense, or even emergency situations where restraint is necessary. Professional handcuffs are high-quality restraints used by law enforcement to securely detain individuals. Unlike the flimsy, inexpensive handcuffs found at retail stores, professional-grade handcuffs are designed to withstand great pressure and provide a strong, secure fit. These are double-lock handcuffs, meaning they can't be tightened further once applied, preventing injury to the person being restrained. They are often made from strong steel and designed to be durable and reliable even under extreme conditions. The keys that accompany these handcuffs are universal, meaning they can work with most handcuffs, giving you flexibility in handling various types of restraints. Having extra keys or even a spare hidden can provide critical advantages in situations where you're restrained or need to secure someone else. The lock mechanism of handcuffs is fairly simple. Each cuff has a small lock that clicks shut when the cuff is applied around the wrist. The key fits into this lock, allowing the cuff to be released when necessary. The double lock mechanism provides an extra layer of security, ensuring that the cuffs won't tighten further on the person being restrained, which could cause unnecessary harm. These handcuffs are made to securely restrict movement without causing permanent injury. The key is essential, as it is the only way to remove the cuffs once they are applied. For this reason, it's vital to keep the keys in a secure, accessible location, ensuring that you are always able to release someone if needed, or conversely, that others can't remove them from you. In an emergency or survival situation, the ability to restrain someone could be an important tool. Whether you're protecting your property, defending your family, or simply ensuring that someone doesn't pose a threat to your survival, handcuffs offer a way to do so without escalating the situation to violence. For example, in the event of trespassers, you may need to secure someone temporarily without hurting them. Handcuffs are a much safer alternative to using excessive force, giving you time to assess the situation, decide whether you need to take further action, or wait for help. The double lock feature ensures that the person being restrained cannot hurt themselves or escape easily, allowing you to maintain control over the situation. Another situation where handcuffs may prove useful is when you're capturing resources or ensuring that your supplies remain untouched. If you're in an area with high levels of conflict or looting, having control over intruders could be essential. Handcuffs can help you secure the situation without attracting attention or creating a scene. In the collapse scenario, handcuffs might seem like an unusual item to barter, but they can be incredibly valuable in emergency situations. As others around you struggle with security issues, having a tool to restrain someone or keep your property protected could make you a key asset in your community. If someone needs help with an intruder or wants to keep their supplies safe, your professional-grade handcuffs can offer a solution. Imagine a scenario where a neighbor is struggling to keep a dangerous individual at bay. You could offer to restrain the intruder with your handcuffs in exchange for food, medicine, or other vital survival supplies. Similarly, handcuffs could be exchanged for other tools, weapons, or even valuable information. The advantage of handcuffs as a barter item lies in their functionality. While most people may not think of them as essential survival tools in a collapsed society, these small, compact tools provide versatility that many would be willing to trade for. Locking someone in place gives you time to assess the situation and decide whether to release them or take further action, making you a valuable resource in a tight spot. One of the biggest concerns with owning professional handcuffs is the legal risk. While they are not inherently illegal to possess in most places, using them on someone without their consent or in an inappropriate situation can lead to significant legal trouble. In normal times, handcuffs are used by law enforcement to detain individuals, and using them outside of those circumstances can be seen as unlawful or even criminal. It's critical to understand the legal implications before acquiring handcuffs. In many areas, using these tools on someone's property or without consent is a criminal offense, and you could face charges of false imprisonment or assault. Therefore, it is essential to be aware of your local laws and to only use handcuffs in legitimate survival scenarios where your safety or the safety of others is at risk. When the system collapses or society breaks down, the rules surrounding handcuffs might not hold the same weight as they do in regular times. Preppers who own these tools should keep in mind that their usage might be tolerated or even essential when the legal system is no longer operating. But until then, always stay within the bounds of the law and use handcuffs responsibly. Once you have a set of professional handcuffs, it's crucial to store them securely and keep the keys in an easily accessible location. If you're using them for self-defense or security purposes, keep them in a place that's easy for you to access but hard for others to find. This ensures that you're not left in a situation where you can't secure an intruder or escape a dangerous scenario. If you're worried about losing the keys, it's a good idea to have extra keys stored in multiple locations. A hidden key could give you a backup if you find yourself restrained or unable to access the original set of keys. It's always best to be prepared with multiple methods of escape. Professional handcuffs and keys are more than just tools of law enforcement. They are crucial survival items in a world where security and restraint become essential. Whether used for defending property, securing intruders, or helping out others in need, handcuffs are a versatile tool that could save your life. They're also valuable in a bartering economy, where your ability to restrain someone or protect your resources can make you a valuable asset. However, it's essential to understand the legal implications and use them responsibly. As preppers, our goal isn't to break the law, but to be prepared for a world where survival takes precedence over everything else. If used correctly, handcuffs can provide peace of mind and offer security in the most uncertain of times. Number 5. Heavy-duty police zip ties. In any survival situation, security and efficiency are essential. While traditional methods of securing people or gear might involve cumbersome tools or time-consuming techniques, heavy-duty police zip ties are the perfect solution for quick and effective restraint. These law enforcement-grade zip ties are not just useful for restraining individuals, but have a wide range of applications that can make them a must-have tool in any prepping kit. Unlike the basic zip ties you can find at any hardware store, police-grade zip ties are specifically designed to withstand greater pressure and resist breaking even under extreme stress. Made from industrial-strength nylon, these zip ties can hold up under much greater pressure, and their lock mechanisms ensure they cannot be easily tampered with. The advantage of heavy-duty zip ties over standard ones is their reliability. They are not only incredibly strong but also lightweight, making them easy to carry and store in bulk. These zip ties are widely used by law enforcement officers for temporary restraints, but are also crucial for securing gear, building makeshift shelters, or even repairing equipment when traditional tools aren't available. Whether you're securing an intruder or using them to fasten a tarpaulin to create shelter, these zip ties are a versatile tool that can save time and effort. The way heavy-duty zip ties work is simple. Once threaded through the small opening, the locking mechanism secures the tie in place, tightening as you pull the tail through. These zip ties are designed to tighten securely, and the harder you pull, the stronger they become. Unlike cheaper zip ties that can easily snap or break under stress, these law enforcement-grade zip ties are made to withstand more extreme conditions, making them the ideal choice for any emergency situation where restraint or securing objects is necessary. The strength of these zip ties is further highlighted by their ability to resist tampering. Once locked in place, it's virtually impossible to undo them without cutting them or using specific tools. This makes them ideal for securing individuals or securing supplies that need to be kept under control. In survival or crisis scenarios, you need tools that are quick, efficient, and easy to use. Heavy-duty zip ties fit this criteria perfectly. They can be used in a variety of ways, both for defensive and practical purposes. For instance, in situations where you need to restrain an intruder or protect your home, zip ties can be used to secure individuals until you can assess the situation or wait for assistance. Imagine a scenario where you need to defend your property but don't want to cause unnecessary harm. Zip ties provide a way to restrain someone without resorting to violence. Whether you're preventing a home invasion or dealing with trespassers, zip ties are a fast, non-lethal option that can neutralize the threat effectively. In addition to securing people, these zip ties are incredibly useful for securing gear. Whether it's backpacks, weapons, or food supplies, you can use zip ties to quickly tie things down, preventing them from getting lost or damaged during transit. In a bug-out situation, zip ties allow you to organize and keep gear secured when moving quickly from one location to another. Another essential use is for building makeshift shelters. If you're on the move or setting up camp, tarps and tents can be secured with zip ties to ensure that your shelter stays intact even during bad weather. These ties can hold tarpaulins and tent poles together and can be used in a variety of ways to fasten materials together quickly. The simplicity and effectiveness of zip ties mean you can use them on the fly without needing complicated equipment or tools. As with many prepper tools, zip ties are not just practical. They can also serve as valuable barter items. In a world where resources are scarce and traditional currency no longer holds value, bartering becomes an essential way to acquire what you need for survival. Zip ties are inexpensive, lightweight, and can be used for a variety of purposes, making them a highly desirable item in any survivalist's toolbox. For example, if someone is in need of a shelter, you can offer them zip ties in exchange for food or other resources. Similarly, if someone requires restraint or security, offering your zip ties could provide you with the supplies you need to keep your stockpile intact or get access to essential items. The versatility of zip ties makes them an ideal barter item, and they are easy to store in large quantities for such purposes. While heavy-duty police zip ties are incredibly useful, it's important to understand the legal concerns surrounding them. In most regions, owning and using zip ties for restraint purposes is legal, but the context in which you use them matters. If you use zip ties to restrain someone unlawfully or in an unauthorized context, you could face legal consequences. In a post-collapse society, legal systems may no longer apply, but until then, it's crucial to understand your local laws and use them responsibly. If you're going to use zip ties for restraining people, ensure that it's in a context where self-defense or property protection justifies your actions. Remember, using zip ties on individuals without proper cause could lead to legal issues, even in a chaotic situation. However, in a crisis where survival is the primary focus, the rules may not be strictly enforced. Zip ties could become a critical tool for securing your home, protecting your property, or even acquiring valuable resources in a barter economy. As long as you use them responsibly and ethically, they can be a valuable part of your survival toolkit. The storage and organization of zip ties are important factors to consider when prepping. Heavy-duty zip ties are small, lightweight, and easy to carry in bulk, making them an ideal tool for anyone who is mobile or on the move. The key to using zip ties effectively is to have them readily accessible and stored in a way that allows you to use them quickly when the need arises. It's also important to practice using zip ties before you rely on them in an emergency. Ensure that you know how to secure someone without causing harm, and understand the safety protocols in handling zip ties. In emergency situations, being able to restrain someone or secure important items quickly and effectively is crucial to your success in survival. Heavy-duty police zip ties are an essential tool for any prepper or survivalist. Their versatility, strength, and effectiveness make them invaluable in situations where restraint, security, or improvised shelter are necessary. Whether you're securing an intruder, organizing your supplies, or building a shelter, zip ties provide a quick, reliable solution. They also serve as bartering items that can help you trade for essential survival resources. While there are legal concerns to consider, in a collapse scenario, zip ties can offer the advantage you need to stay safe and secure your resources. When the grid goes down and traditional systems fail, having a few packs of these tough, reusable ties could be the difference between survival and danger. Stock up on zip ties today and ensure that you're prepared for any situation that comes your way.